This is about the migrant crisis in Africa. And in the West, we feel very guilty about our wealth. And we pay companies to remove our guilt. We buy guilt absolution from these companies, which are called charities. And in Britain, all charities are companies. They're limited companies, limited by guarantee. And these companies show us images of good deeds being done and needy humans being helped. And we give them money for the image. We don't check whether any good is really being done. We just hope it is. It's a mental exercise. It's prayer, really. We look, we think, we donate, and we receive absolution. And the image also flatters us. The charities congratulate us on being rich enough to be generous. We're presented as heroic and virtuous and properly dressed. You'll notice this. A typical charity campaign shows helpless, needy, semi-naked, backward people being rescued by confident, advanced people, fully clothed. Africa is saved by superhumans, that's the myth, and we pay fortunes for it. And Africans find this myth absolutely astonishing, because for them Africa is young and dynamic and prosperous and cutting edge. And when Africans arrive in Europe, they see this nightmare that they don't recognise, and they see us gorging on images of this nightmare, the begging bowl continent, mud huts in the desert, crops failing, children starving, dead livestock being picked over by vultures, and then a Land Cruiser rolls up and the gap year team from Norway climb out and dig a waterhole, which saves Africa. Although in Norway, Norwegians don't dig a waterhole, they build a reservoir. But Africa is third world, so it gets a third world service. And Africa really is this shrine to Western supremacy, and always has been. When a celebrity buys an orphan, say Madonna or Angelina Jolie, they go to Africa, sometimes to Asia, mainly Africa, but never to a local supplier. There are plenty of poor kids in America, but that doesn't support the Superman myth. And Madonna and Angelina mustn't alienate their customers in America by treating the ghetto as a pet shop. They need their customers to like them, so they go where there are fewer customers, to Africa, where they buy one baby, maybe two babies, enough symbolically to save Africa. Because it's curious, when you do anything good in Africa, no matter how piffling, you do it to all of Africa. Africa has this wrinkle in its geomagnetic field, a kind of charity kink, which magnifies your charitable deed exponentially as you leave African airspace. You help one African, but it feels like 50 at least. You donated a wind-up radio, but it's a couple of hundred. You saved one HIV victim, but really you saved 1,000, because that's how many times you'll mention it. And this Superman myth is fueling the crisis in the Mediterranean, where the images are great for charities, for highly valuable images. Poor Africans in rags being rescued by powerful Westerners in the appropriate clothing. So the charities have this pluck and dump strategy. Pluck the migrants from the sea and dump them. The migrant is saved and photographed and discarded, doesn't matter where, not the charity's job. Because the next stage in the journey, integration, has boring images. There's no money in it. A migrant eating soup, or training as a traffic warden, or putting on a high-vis jacket. Where's Superman? So fewer charities help migrants to settle in Europe, and the migrants are stranded in our cities. A Dickensian underclass is roaming around without skills or family connections or language abilities or even a home. And the charities who dump them here are back in the Mediterranean, people trafficking, which is what it is. Transporting the vulnerable from one continent to another to get money is people trafficking. And if you give money to these charities, you're people trafficking as well.